Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog.stampwithelaine.com and welcome to episode 3 of 12 every Friday until 7th December in my 2018 Countdown to Christmas series. Bearing in mind the rising postage costs, my aim is to make single layer cards but still give it that wow factor. Today's card is this one, so we will be using some stamping blends as well. This is the beautiful Baubles photopolymer stamp set, the coordinating dies. This framelet will cut out lace doily type image, and that die, it will partially cut and partially emboss at the same time. So if I hold that up to the light, can you see that? So it will punch out some holes. But then it also gives a bit of detail with some light embossing around the edges. And this die will partially cut the cardstock. You can see with this one, it doesn't go all the way through, so it creates a window. If you want it freestanding, then you use this on top of that, like so, and you cut those together, and then you will get this piece here. This one obviously cuts this. These one will cut out the stamp images all in one go. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 baubles with just one pass through the big shot. I really like that innovation that Stampin' Up has brought out, because it does save you a lot of time. And then of course this one is this one here. For today's project we're only going to be using this die to create this window frame on the front of the cardstock. To make this card you'll need half an A4 sheet of shaded spruce. This measures in Europe 8 1/4 inches by 5 7/8 inches, that's 21 centimeters by 14.85 centimeters, and folded in half. It's quite economical on cardstock. You only need the Whisper White insert, which measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches, that's 9.5 centimeters, 14 centimeters. Tuxedo Black, Memento ink, Shaded Spruce and Versamark ink. The stamping blends I'm using are Shaded Spruce, Granny Apple Green, Soft Sea Foam and then a whitener. I'm also using my Stamparatus, white embossing powder, a heat tool, an embossing buddy, a precision base plate, a magnetic platform and my big shot. To start with, we'll need the magnetic platform. Attach my precision base plate onto the magnetic platform. Allow it to attract to the magnetic platform, keeping your fingers well away so you don't trap them. And then establish which is the front of your card. This is going to be the front of my card. So I'm going to pop that and make sure it's equidistant on the 3 sides. Use a bit of washi tape to secure that so it doesn't move from the plate. Place my top cutting plate on top and then I'll run it through the big shot. So you don't need 2 of the clear plates because you've got the precision plate on the bottom next to the magnetic platform. Then you've got your cardstock, your die face down, and then the top plate. Bring that back, carefully remove it. Remove the pieces inside with the brush. Got that left over which you can use for another project. Then I'm going to glue this into my card. I know this is against the norm, but the reason for that is because there's a border all round. If you put that in the Stamparatus, buttered right up into the corner, you're not going to have the image centered through the window here. So you need to stamp it through the window with that already glued on. Bring my stamparatus in, and this is the time when you want to make sure that your stamp is really clean. And in order to center the stamp round this bit here, I'm going to place the stamp over the hole, the aperture here. Lift that up, then bring my plate over to pick up the stamp. Okay, with my magnet, make sure that this cardstock doesn't move. Ink it up with the Memento black ink. Then stamp. Now I'm not worried about protecting my work surface because this is already glued to the card base, so it's actually 2 layers of cards. But I'm going to start with the lightest colour first, and I'm using the bullet end rather than the brush end so that I can outline these sections here. And that just means that I won't need to be too careful about the brushwork. I'll zoom that in a little bit. Next colour, the Granny Apple Green. So I've gone through these bits here with the lighter of the Granny Apple Greens, and now I'm going to do the darker bits. I want to take it down to this level here, so I'm just going to outline that with the bullet tip. I'm doing the same with this bit here, so I'm using the bullet end to outline that. Then lastly, the shaded spruce dark. Next thing I'm going to do is just pop a bit of post-it note at the top, so I don't stamp on the border, and I need shaded spruce, and I'm just going to stamp this straight stamp at the top. Then I'm going to stamp the bow, also in shaded spruce, up there. And that finishes it off, and then stamp the sentiment, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, underneath that. Last of all, do the front of the card, so embossing buddy on the front. Grab my Versamark ink and stamp that in the middle. Sprinkle white embossing powder over it. Emboss it with the heat tool. Lastly, pop the rhinestones on. I love this new Take Your Pick tool that Stampin' Up has. It makes picking up these rhinestones and gluing them so much easier. There you go. If you use a lighter cardstock, then you won't need to emboss it. But because this cardstock was dark, I had to emboss it in white. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. And thanks for popping by. See you next time. Bye.